Okay. Now I'll just tell you something. The way the lady said that because the education level is not very high in a village, a lady who is not uneducated feels intimidated to go to a place for 10 places for a single thing. So she said that is the reason we loved the concept. Apart from this, one more thing, it curbed the malpractices of selling merchandise and brands beyond MRP. Otherwise, if you go to a rural place, you will find that they will sell coke to 15 रुपए में, and they will say कि ये मुझे वहाँ से लाने में इतना खर्चा होता है. So because of such an organized retail venture, that has been curbed. Okay. So now how did we go about? In case of Ilol, we exploited the network of an acquaintance. The rural entrepreneur was encouraged to invest with the brand, helped him with identification of key location, organized a small get-together in the village and gave the details of the business. Executive of the company was sent to the village a week before to set with the purchases. Now, again I would like to share an insight. When I moved from advertising to retail, I found out that distributors were smart enough to understand that I don't know anything about retail. So now imagine maybe a place like this, which is blank. Only you find racks, furniture in place, but there is no product which is to be displayed. And you have to identify the right inventory mix as per the need of the locality. मतलब लक्स साबु कितना रखेगा, कोलगेट कितना होगा, कोलगेट का अगर 4 साइज है तो which particular size is the most so now it was very difficult for me. So they could realize, because when I would say I just want 6 piece, they would start smirking at me, saying that साहब आपने सुपरमार्केट खोला है कि दुकान खोला है, and then I would give them more orders, and I realized that I gave them an order worth 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees, which was wrong. And it took almost 1.5 years for me to be out of that particular problem. This was an insight which we thought we will take it to a village, and in an organized way we will try to teach the village entrepreneur how should you purchase your initial purchasing, because that is the most difficult. If you do your initial purchasing wrong in retail, maybe because it is hardly a margin of 5 to 7%. I don't think you have, with limited amount it's very difficult to survive, right? Now how should we go about? What was the brand franchising model? We told a rural entrepreneur to establish his own firm, register his own firm, because we never wanted that tomorrow if we take away the franchisee, he should be out of business, right? For some reason maybe we did not like the association and we want to be out of it. So I cannot pull him out of the business. It would not be good on my part. So I told him that you should register your business in any name. It can be partnership or it can be a proprietorship, and we will help you in setting up with visual merchandising, space planning, SKUs, billing software, and even with the purchases. They will have to pay us a non-refundable fee for taking a brand franchising and entering into contract, and they will have to share a royalty with us every year. First year royalty is wiped off. From second year onwards, they will have to share a brand royalty. Non-refundable fee is 25,000 to set up a business, wherein that is a fee where we send our executive and try to set up the business, and royalty is 0.5% to 1% depending on the negotiation. Lower cap is 0.5%, upper cap is 1% on the annual sales of the retail business. Ilol is around 15,000, 10 to 15,000. Per day sale up till now, on an average, they do a sale of around 8,000. Yeah. So by that logic, it is 2,40,000 ka sale per month. If you see the average margin, it is 7 to 8%. There are 6 stores, and mine is 7th one. I mean, I am the parent company. There are 6 franchises which are on. See, we started with Ilol in year 2007. Right, and the last franchisee which was opened in Dholka Taluka, which was on 15th of August. So on the stores which are old, they are really doing very well. The stores which are not so old, they are trying to establish, but we find lots of potential. They will grow. Because we have, see, again we have gone to a place where no other market in Gujarat has gone. I am not talking about ITC chopals and all, but I have not seen them. But in Gujarat, we don't have ITC chopals, and they have not.
Do you purchase material directly at one store, which is your mother store, or they purchase themselves?
Okay, now there are branded products where maybe we cannot give them a margin, right? Because companies have their own local distributors who are appointed. So if we can give them better than a distributor, we will give them. If not, they can purchase on their own. But wholesale groceries and loose items, we purchase centralized, right? Because there we can give them some kind of a benefit. Again, I'll tell you how we getting a benefit. Because see, there are two things. One, if network is in place, you can purchase. If you can purchase, you can have network in place, right? As a single store, I don't have that much of a capacity. Initially when I was a single store shop, I tried creating my own private label. So there were a couple of suppliers. I told them that आप मुझको sauce देते हो ये brand से, आप मेरा brand दो. So they said that साहब उसके लिए you give us the quantity. I said in any which ways I'll give you labels. You just print on 50 such things. So they said no. Tomorrow if it is not sold, I cannot take it back. If it is my brand, I'll take it back. If it is your brand, you will have to keep the inventory. Then I realized, no, in any which ways, I'll want to have a customer base which is strong enough.
Where I was coming from in terms of your business, if you do a centralized purchase, you'll be able to get a better margin from even branded companies like a Levers, ITC or Maricos of the world, no? See, if you do a centralized purchase.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. There are certain brands which are not accepted in rural market. Because if you see the demographics, I am in a Cosmo city. Rest other stores are in villages. What I am trying to look at is that maybe after one and a half year, at a very slow pace, because I want my every entrepreneur to be successful. I don't want to be big overnight. If they are successful, I'll be successful. So I want to see their pattern, and I want to study what is the demand in a village. Maybe then I can identify 10 to 15 brands where I can go and do the centralized buying, right? See now, yeah.
One is that in an area where you are exposing the market for, with these kind of outlets, you don't want to expose with a quality company or quality product, perhaps with this intention that the margin is not going to be very high with them. You want to make entrepreneurs successful.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that is perhaps that the margin should be higher, and that is going to come from B grade or C grade company. Correct me if I'm going wrong.
No, you first tell me, then I'll tell you.
Okay. Second thing is that by default, it is looking that it is located at a place where a particular community is more. Okay. These two things are slightly sounding as this uncomfort, area. Can you clarify?
Yeah. Okay. Now, see, when I went to Juhapura, if you are talking about Juhapura as a parent company, right? I never wanted to serve to a particular community. I will be very honest. But I wanted a place which was safe. Because after 2002, there was certain, mindset was there कि यहाँ पर अगर करेंगे खर्चा होगा और जल जाएगा तो, because there were many restaurants which were going on. So there was a mindset to us was a safe haven. That is why in every communication I tried saying that it is not a place only for a particular locality. It is for the entire thing. But because of certain reasons, I cannot move out. Right? That is the answer to the first question. Now, so there I am trying to again. If you see the stretch, you see the clipping of this NDTV, where they say that there are no basic amenities. So actually, as a businessman, it was making more sense to go there. If I had gone to Nagarampuram, maybe I would be one of the stores. Moorwala can kill me. I cannot have kind of lavishness. In this locality, I was perceived to be something which is big. Initially, there were problems because they thought that ये कौन आ गया और ये तो कल बंद हो जाएगा. यहाँ पर कुछ चलता नहीं है. लेकिन after some time they realize that what we are trying to bring in is something different. We are trying to give them an experience in a locality where they can, even in their night dress, night gown, they neighborhood store. You don't have to dress up for going there. So that is the experience I wanted to share with them. And it was making sense. According to me, it is making sense to go to a place which doesn't have any other such store. I'll have a first mover advantage. After us, Subiksha came, but actually, unfortunately, Subiksha across India closed down. so it has to close down. It was not a problem of the locality. It had to close down because it had to close down, right?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.